When and who to invest where? I've had many people who say, why would I invest my money in treasury bonds or unit trust only to make me 12%? That would mean 1 million and you get only 120,000 at the end of the year. Well, I understand what and why people would say so. For that reason, on this third episode of our exit plan series, I'm going to tell you about the 3 different factors you should consider to invest in the 3 different categories of investments. We are going to look at the 3 factors that matter and the 3 different investment ventures. Factor number 1 you should consider is time. Yes, you don't want to invest in treasury bonds or treasury bills. You want to invest in farm or chickens, or you want to trade in Chikubo. The question is, do you have the time? If you're employed, can you actually be at the farm? Because if you don't supervise it, you're going to be like me. Some of you know my story, how I lost lots of money in farming. Factor number 2 is knowledge. Do you have the technical know-how of doing the business you want to do? If you do not have, of course, you have to look for someone to help you, guide you, or mentor you. Or otherwise, you'd have to hire experts. And that requires a lot of management skills and also money to hire them. I think the biggest weakness people have here, that even when you get mentors, when they tell you something, you still don't do it. I remember I had my mentor, Enoka. Enoka told me to start small on every farm investment venture, and I didn't. And I made a lot of losses. When you have a mentor, listen to them. And then factor number 3 is power. You realize I've not said capital. Why? Because to me, power is the ability to determine or affect the behaviors of others or a course of events. Now, capital or money also gives you power, but it's not the only thing that gives you that power. We also have things like leverage. Of course, I'm not going to call it capital. I know capital is not just money, but my point is, whatever gives you power to do something, that is what you need and what you need to think about. For instance, if I know my brother who has a shop in Chukubo and I have a phone and I can put out adverts or post on my WhatsApp statuses that I am selling this thing, let's say saucepans, but my brother sells saucepans in Chukubo, and then someone from my circles orders for saucepans, I just do an interswitch. Maybe I already also have a boda guy. He gets it at 100,000, he delivers it at 120, I pay the boda guy 5,000, I have made money. It could be leverage in terms of partnership, connections, network. In precise, you need to ask yourself, the business you want to invest in, do you have the time? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the power? Having looked at the 3 factors that matter, then you can determine on whether to invest in these categories of investments. Category number 1 is what we call capital preservation investments. Now, these are the types of investments where you invest in an asset whose nature, it increases in value over time. For instance, like you've guessed, land. When you put money in land and you're just going to keep it there so that it increases in value over time, that is capital preservation investments ventures. It's as if you're keeping the money, but at the same time you're making money. Other people invest in vintage things like vintage cars. A vintage car will increase in value. Other people do in wine, will increase in value. So that is the first category of investment you can consider investing in. The second is what we call wealth creation investment ventures. Now, wealth creation, this is literally a business. It's usually active investments that would require you to participate, that would require your active involvement. Farming is a wealth creation venture. A stall, a boutique, a restaurant, they're wealth creation ventures. They need your participation. Here, we usually require you to have management skills, to have time, and to have capital. If you don't have any of those things, my friend, probably this is not a business for you. Anyway, the third and the last one, but maybe before, let me welcome everyone who has just joined this series. Please follow me to make sure that you get every episode. But also, I want to remind you that we still have our free investment lunch hour every Wednesday. If you want to participate, please just click the CTA here that says interested, follow through and register on the website for you to easily get an invitation. Alternatively, just text us on the number there. You'll be given a link. Actually, after tomorrow on Wednesday, the lunch hour will be on a daily basis. Let's go back to capital accumulation. Capital accumulation means that you invest in money assets to make money. So you use money to make money. For instance, we have treasury bonds where you lend government money, and government, as it uses your money, it pays you an interest. And then we have unit trusts. This is where we do collective investments. We give experts money, they make money for us, and they give us money. We have stocks. When you buy shares, public shares from a particular company like MTN, and then when they make money, they share their dividends with you. Before I leave this video, again, you're going to do one thing for me. Tell me, which question would you want me to answer during the investment lunch hour when we meet? Put it in the comments and also apply. Otherwise, I always ask you to always share if you found value. Abide in faith, hope, love, but remember, love transcends. See you in episode 4.